Hey, this is Johnny, and we're back with Bears and Games talking about a game that requires some discussion. Deadly Premonition. It's developed by Ignition Entertainment in cooperation with a few other people, including Swery, who is a developer previously known for not much other than spy fiction, and your opinion on spy fiction may vary. Deadly Premonition has a good soundtrack, although not that many tracks. This game has actually gone from a 2, I think, in IGN to a 10 in Destructoid. This is a game that some people love and a lot of people really, really hate. You can get a sense of whether or not you're going to like it by looking at this this trailer right here. Do you think that a lady tied to a tree with a snake crawling up her while kids watch with Dreamcast-era graphics is something that you're going to be interested in, or something that looks like garbage because it has poor graphics? To me, I mean, look at those textures. Those textures are okay to me, and that polygonal tree is okay to me because the scope of it is huge. You have this town where you can literally drive around everywhere and look into everything and open almost every door. Well, okay, not every door, but there's a lot to it. Unlike something like GTA, this town is full of people. Crazy, crazy people. Now, you may have heard of David Lynch's TV masterpiece from the late 80s called Twin Peaks. This may be one of the top 10 games based on Twin Peaks released this year. Seriously, Alan Wake, Silent Hill, and Deadly Premonition all crib very heavily from this show. Anything that's horror-based and surreal that's set in a small town often borrows very heavily from Twin Peaks, and you'll notice there'll be sheriffs and pie and all that, and diners, which you will see later. So there's an interesting cast of townspeople in Deadly Premonition, and a whole lot of atmosphere that so far hasn't really led anywhere. Oh, that's Thomas, one of the police officers you're going to work with. He is the only gay character I've met so far in the game, and he has a thing for the town sheriff. I don't know how to feel about these models, but sometimes, like right here, that looks freaking beautiful. This game can have a good art design when it chooses to, which makes me think Swery is kind of pulling a big prank on everyone with some of the stuff in this game. But more on that later. First, we have to meet Agent Francis York, or York, that everyone calls him that. He is a detective coming in from the FBI to help small-town detectives solve that first crime that you see, although it may not be the last crime. And this game is sort of a mystery adventure game set in an open world. The only game I've played that's anything like it, or have seen that's anything like it, is Gabriel Knight 3. Because you have a large world full of persistent characters that move around as the day goes by. I mean, they could be at work at one point, and then they go home, they hang out with people, they have affairs. There's this huge town, and you can go through, you can look in windows, you can spy on people. I'll note that I actually removed the 15-second load time that it takes to look through windows. Not everyone in the town is a named character. See, this is just one of the non-essential people, but there's, I don't know, over a dozen, 2 dozen people involved in the case, and they, you can follow them around town. You always get tabs on the map on who's doing what, and you can talk to people. Sometimes the dialogue's voiced, sometimes there's cutscenes, and sometimes you get kind of like this. Basic JRPG or maybe Zelda kind of, they make grunty noises and don't actually talk to you. Driving around town, you can do it in a first-person view like I prefer to. You can do a third-person view. But the thing is that you have to drive there. And there are some pretty long distances, and you have to get to know the layout of the town because, as you'll see, there's no real auto-mapping function. But the good part about these long drives is you get to have lots of conversations with Zach. And I thought at first he was talking on the radio, but I liked the game a whole lot better when I suddenly realized there was no Zach.
Team.
And there is no radio.
That's what I think, at least, and I'm interested in you and Zach. I don't want anything to happen to you before I hear more about you two.
Now, this game also has a ton of bears. Since it's based on kind of American stereotypes and characters from Twin Peaks, like this guy who is directly lifted from the sheriff Twin Peaks, you get a lot of bigger guys, a lot of muscular guys, a lot of guys with beards. Isaac and Isaiah's grandfather here is definitely the first bearish character in the game, and I thought, oh, there's just going to be this one guy, huh? Because, you know, usually games, especially games from Japan, have one or two bearish guys, but no. There's Forrest here, who, he's definitely one of the best modeled big guys that I've seen in a Japanese, or heck, even Western game. He's kind of realistically proportioned. He's not like Rufus or Bob, where he has a giant ass. No, this is kind of what big guys look like. Okay, the motion capture is kind of a little off, but he's got a hairy chest. I'll let you draw your own judgments on the big bears of this game. And then you have Jack the Raging Bull, who's dating the super hot girl who works at the gas station. And he's maybe the hottest guy in the game. He's a kind of muscular, chubby guy. He's also really pretty mean and a jerk. Now, the unfortunate part is I thought that getting the car washed would get the sequence you get when you get the girl washing your car, where she's rubbing her breasts basically all over the windshield. But when Jack here does it, you don't get much at all, which just kind of sucks. Oh yeah, and without getting to Bear Subdivision-y, there's also Nick, who is sort of a stocky cub, if you want to use the term, type. Now, there's one thing I haven't talked about yet, and that is the combat in Deadly Premonition. Sadly, it is not just an open-world adventure game where you meet people and talk to people. There is a Resident Evil 4 style zombie shooting combat element where you can shoot and sneak past these zombies that may or may not exist. And this sounds cool in theory. Unfortunately, it doesn't control super well, and these sequences can take up to an hour or two. I honestly don't know if I'm going to finish the game. This is as far as I've got, and I got to this wall-crawling lady and saw a video that takes about 5 to 10 minutes to kill her with the weapon that I've currently got, and I don't know if I have that kind of patience. It's an interesting game, and I really like everything outside the combat, but I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Deadly Premonition.